Okay, here we are going to graph the line y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. So one of the important things to point out here is that this is already in slope-intercept form, which you remember is y equals mx plus b. So since this is already in slope-intercept form, we don't need to put it in slope-intercept form. So let's talk about what is the slope and what is the y-intercept here. So the slope is our m, which is this negative 1 over 2. And then we also have our y-intercept, which is our b here, which is negative 1. I'm going to put that as an ordered pair. I think that will help us when graphing, when plotting this, okay? So remember, your y-intercept is always 0, comma, whatever the b is, okay? So now, with these two things, our slope and our y-intercept, we can plot this line. The first thing we want to plot every time is our y-intercept. So 0, comma, negative 1. Now remember, on a graph, the horizontal axis is your x-axis and the vertical axis is your y-axis. So your y-intercept will always go on this y-axis, all right? So 0, negative 1 is going to be right there. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. And now from there, we are going to plot our slope. So using that y-intercept, we're starting there and we're going to plot our slope. Okay, which is negative 1 over 2. Remember, slope is rise over run. Okay, now another important thing to point out is if the line's pointing to this over here, it's a negative slope. If it's pointing over here, it's a positive slope. So it's negative, so I can either go down 1, right 2. Okay, we're going down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Or up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. Okay, do you see how it's pointing kind of the top left corner, which means it's a negative slope, and that's what we needed. Now we're going to graph this line from one end to the other. All right, oops. So there we go. Just remember that it's rise over run. You start with your y-intercept and then you do your slope.